don't think so.
Are you surprised we're not getting as much Ag Shard then with the change that the only change we saw to the dive bomb?
The thing is, it's like, what does it replace? You know, you have a very set build order in terms of your items on Beastmaster, and everything has such a big priority for him, right? So the thing is, like, where do you fit in the Aghanim Shard? Maybe this game, you know, if they're able to take Roshan, there's no real amazing... well, I guess Juggernaut really wants the Shard, but oftentimes he wants to pick it up before actually looking to take that Rosh. So we'll see. We'll see if they give a free one over to him, or if he'll eventually have to buy it after, like, 4 key items, I would say, on Crush.
See the cool little mind games from Execration. Don't remember which support it was, but one support run straight down mid and kind of entered Summit's high ground, and then another member went to the right side and dropped the ward, so Summit thought that the ward was on the support. They dropped the sentry down as soon as the smoke popped, but unfortunately guessing incorrect. So Radiant, they will be playing with this ward, and it's going to give them a lot of information. They'll see Crush, they'll see CZY, so they will be ready to make plays accordingly.
Vincenzo has been able to find him out a little bit here, but Palos not quite ready to go for any sort of kill attempt. He'll be content enough just to be able to pick up that bounty rune for himself, and well, the 3 heroes is enough to be able to bully away a little bit. Of course, this is what I was talking about up on that top side. Unknown Trezam, very important that they look to try and convert and get that first blood kill if possible. And of course, this is something that we haven't seen, and you and I are both pretty big fans of. The position for Shadow Demon, specifically on the Radiant side, where it's a little bit easier for you to walk back and get those easy stacks up onto a lot of these camps that we know a Bat Rider needs to take in order to snowball and get those early items that you need to be able to find and kill the Beastmaster reliably.
Yeah, I'm still yet to cast the new Shadow Demon with the... What even is this W?
Disseminate.
Disseminate, okay. Disseminate. Interesting ability. What do you rate this? Do you feel like it's a nice new change to the Shadow Demon?
It's kind of like you're just giving someone dispersion from the Spectre, you know, if you're using it on a friendly unit, you know? Which is interesting.
Is it better than Soul Catcher? Because that was a very good ability to play versus the tanky heroes. Top lane, Trezam's in a bit of trouble. We'll be able to cut through the trees. Shanks wasn't able to position the illusions in a spot where they could block off Trezam.
He's actually gone into the level 1 healing ward as well, just to not give up that first blood, and it's really going to slow down that timing that I was mentioning before, where they are going to want to try and go for a kill at level 2. Honestly, I haven't seen this in practice either, the Disseminate, so I'm going to be running this one as blind as you are.
Okay. Take a look at how... Yeah, we'll take a look at our other side lane here, down bottom. We're crushing the Beastmaster and CZY and the Earth Spirit. Looks like nothing crazy going on at the moment. I do still think this is going to be a lane. I love baiting himself. I'm so sorry. Bob mid lane, solo kill onto Mercury. Had a level in the blink, but maybe Bob was just able to blow him up beforehand. He went for a level in the flame break, so maybe catching the Queen of Pain off guard.
Getting both of those water runes as well. He really wants to make sure that he can at least get the deny experience through from that range creep. Keep this little bit of an advantage that he's got over Mercury at this stage. And this is Bob gaming, right? He's going to go for these dives, and sometimes it works out and he looks like a god, sometimes a little bit less so. But this game, my points, my predictions, they're looking good.
Well, we saw it in their series versus T1. Like, Bob, in back-to-back games on the Shadow Fiend, got multiple kills onto Thompson, but he just wasn't able to...
Thompson.
Embarrassed. Okay, I mean, that's one way to put it. Bob, just going to lose the sticky napalm stack onto Mercury, so... Well, we'll be able to jump into the river, chilling for the moment. Bob's still going to try and continue with the damage, but Blink coming back up shortly. Into the Queen of Pain. I think Bob be okay. Bob, what a flame break placement. Pushes back the Queen of Pain. He's still got a little bit of mana to work with. Bob with one more right click and the sticky napalm gets the kill onto the Quap, whose TP is still on cooldown.
That means that CZY is going to need to stick in this mid lane. I thought Bob might have gone for that bounty rune just for the additional value, but he realizes the fact that Quap is going to be such a long time away from the lane. He can afford to go all the way back to base, pick up that win lace for himself, and yeah, to try and keep the pressure on. This is This is my prediction, Aries. This is what happens, you know? Now just looks to pick it up, gets the player with most kills at 10 minutes as Bob. The points are looking good.
Points. And both the side lanes are looking relatively good as well for Execration. 21-2 for Palos compared to the 14-3 on Crush. Of course, kind of to be expected considering that the Earth Spirit having to leave the lane for a little bit. We even see the other lane with what the Shadow Demon's doing. Exactly like we were mentioning before, this is a hero that is very... easily has the capability to step back into the triangle and make some stacks. So when already Batrider's game is off to a good start, and now with multiple stacks to be able to farm afterwards, Bob could be very scary in the early game.
Shazam did put down that sentry ward though, blocking up at least the hard camp, so it's going to require a little bit of gold investment to make sure that you are able to continuously get a lot of those stacks off. So I like that movement coming through from Shazam, obviously realizing that with Unknown farming back underneath his tier 1 tower, he was under no threat of dying, and just placing down that ward. So going to slow down the Batrider's time a little bit after a very successful beginning few minutes of the game from Bob. You'd expect nothing less. Bot lane, there's a little bit of aggression as well, but Palos, I was about to say maybe he gets away. Still a few seconds left on that Earth Shock, but we'll be able to make the space. There we go, eventually gets the D ward off. Another stack being built up inside the triangle. This is the thing, even with a Shadow Demon, you're going to be able to just move on mid and get a lot of that free experience once Bob feels like it's time to actually go into that triangle. It's going to be a little bit longer than normal, though, considering, you know, Firefly, just 1 point into it, he's much more focused on dominating this lane against the Queen of Pain.
How are we expecting the Ursa to look to itemize in a game like this for Palos? He's off to hold that thought, yeah. Rolling from CZY. They don't have the boars to play with for the moment, so they're going to be relying on the axes, but it's only level 1 for Crush at the moment, so Palos is going to be able to reposition to the tower. He's got multiple 1 charges to play with, so Palos is still in fighting shape.
Whose itemization were you asking about?
Palos' itemization. Like, because you... Seems like he's going to have a relatively free game with all the space that Bob can make. Speaking about Bob, he's got to level in the lasso, and he's going to use it the last second. The control from Shanks allowing Bob to get in a position to use the ultimate. And I'm starting to feel otherwise about this Queen of Pain matchup. This is... Of course, Bob is playing it incredibly well, but I don't know if it's as favored as what we should be expecting. Like, he's just dominating mid. I don't know if this is an outlier or not.
I think it is. I mean, with that last death, he had full 1 charges and blink up, so I feel like that's just a little bit of an individual mistake coming out from Mercury.
This is a nice way for Summit to try and rectify some of the deaths across the map, but does leave the Beastmaster solo down bottom, and Palos can stack up the Fury swipes, and we'll be able to secure his first kill of the game. Execration already up to a 2,000 net worth lead.
CZY just even going to try and body block up this camp. He's been spotted out by Bob, though. Still just the 1 point into the Firefly, and won't even be able to get away. He's just going to try and deny himself to the neutrals, surely. Just as good as a lot of these creeps is that kill. Extra 110 or so damage. Sorry, not damage, gold.
Shanks? Oh, does he get the count? The bounce back? Oh, he's going to look for the deny. Oh, we got it. Nicely done. Even Mercury tried to move on over. So this is the time for the Queen of Pain, who's not getting farm. They will drop another sentry down, though, to try and slow down Bob's game. Dude, Palos is higher net worth than Bob. Oh, God. Meanwhile... Oh, no.
Yeah. Doesn't feel that great, does it? But yeah, Palos, he's having a pretty decent time on this this Ursa, like nearly double the net worth at this point in time, and he's going to go into the Battle Fury, like you were mentioning before. What are we chuckling about?
Bob just, I think, found all 5 neutrals. Yeah, he got literally every single neutral item for that agent stack.
He deserves it. He's been putting on a clinic so far. Just giving himself that little bit of extra movement speed for the catch. Movement speed at the vault from the Tumbler's toy. I'm trying to think what Summit need to do to be able to come back into this one a little bit, because with all the space that you've created, it means that Ursa, of course, has the freedom to go into this Battle Fury. It's going to be able to deal relatively well with the eventual zoo that's going to come from Crush and all of his illusions. Not illusions, summons. So, give me a moment. I'll need a bit of time to think about this one.
For me, I think Summit need to be playing around bottom. They're making an attempt onto Bob at the moment, but hitting the rolling boulder onto Bob is not going to be easy at all with this movement speed now with the Boots of Travel completed. For me, I'm looking at Summit to really play with this Beastmaster. Crush has got level 6. He's got Helma the Dominator coming out as well. If you get a kill, then you can definitely lead that into an objective and start to open up the map. Bob
Can
is...
you get the kill, though? That's the question.
Yep, that is the ultimate question. It's not going to be easy at all. You'll probably need to rotate Mercury down with the Sonic Wave Burst top lane. Shazam, just look at the poke from afar. Tino's even going to push back the Juggernaut. It's not the greatest static link, but just keeping Unknown in check.
Trying to force the spin out here. Make sure that he just can't turn around and Omni Slash Bob. He's just poking. He's just prodding. He's like, come on, come on. You know you want to use a spell. Well, you're not going to use anything. I'll just take your life instead. Oh, he's even getting the healing one. Oh, Bobby, my boys, they're looking good. There we go. Most kills at 10 minutes is my man.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's a masterclass performance so far from Execration. I mean, you can say it's all Bob, but it still feels like a lot of the other members fulfilled their role. Shanks making stacks, looking to soak some of the experience mid. We got meanwhile Palace down bottom, working towards the Battle Fury, so he's trying to secure the late game, and he's got some pretty good matchups as well. As the game goes later and later, can play relatively well into the Juggernaut, and Rage being able to kite out the Omni Slash. You can go Bash or Abyssal to deal with the Blade Fury. They are going to run into Palos.
Farming. Yeah. Might have gotten a little bit of information based off of how the Queen of Pain animation was going off with the Shadow Strike, but well, apparently not. And clearly they weren't interested in just making the rotation through with the Primal Roar. It was much more important to just open up this map a little bit more, allow Unknown some space to farm. He needs this this Maelstrom just to pick up his own farming pace, otherwise he's going to fall massively behind the Ursa.
Radiant are scanning.
Some are gearing up for this potential play around mid. Got CZY, Trezam nearby as well, and even Crush is considering about entering. So again, a kill and they will do a lot of damage into the tower. But you see that they're kind of just dangling Shanks' life. Vincenzo hiding under Vendetta. They do have a sentry nearby, so they are well aware of Vincenzo's positioning.
Dire are scanning.
Even just the fact that he's moving back past the Roche pit. Scan being used just to make sure that Ursa isn't looking to be inside the Roche pit, and that's just credit to Palos, right? This is the sort of things that you can get out of the enemy team if you play effectively around the darkness of the map. Oftentimes, I'm a big advocate of keeping lanes pushed out because you get more out of a single creep wave than you do from a set of Ancients, but it's about the information that you're giving away. So there are certainly times to push when you're not fighting with the rest of your team, and there are times to stay in the jungle, and I feel like Palos is one of those carries that just does it so well, finds that balance.
I must say, I'm incredibly impressed for Summit, even though they're down 6,000 gold, for them to make the call to take this tier 1 tower. Just, I'm recognizing that Execration do still have some issues with team fighting, even though they have such a big net worth lead. Nyx Assassin does not want a 5v5, nor does the Shadow Demon early on. So these two supports in particular, and Palace is going for a Battle Fury, so this is a hero that's going for a farming steroid instead of something to help in team fight. So I really like the call from Summit, something that's difficult to make when you are really far behind.
It's something like that, but it's also like they kind of had to, you know? You had to make that risky play just to open up this map a little bit further, because now Unknown feels a lot safer with being able to farm on this bottom side.
Dude, Shakes just made 13 stacks, man. Holy. Oh my god.
How do you check that?
It came up on stream, on Beam.
Oh, man. Well, we get a lasso on this bottom side, and I was saying that Unknown felt pretty safe down here, but apparently not. You've just got those boots of travel to be able to bypass any of the Observer Wards and Hawks that they've been placing inside of the Radiant Jungle, and Bob, he is just toying with them right now. Tumble is toying with them.
So maybe this is why you first picked the Bat Rider and you're okay in the playing into one counter in the Queen of Pain. Again, like he showed that this matchup, even though it is Queen of Pain favored, you know, the Bat Rider can come out on top with some individual brilliance, and that's what we've seen so far from the Bat. And you know, maybe Summit now need to be considering another way to address the hero in. Because Bob's gonna have a free game now. Like they have no way to deal with the lasso. If he lassos someone, they are dead. There's no hard dispel that you have no defensive support. So him off to an incredible start, going 4 stuff next is gonna make it that much more difficult.
Pretty, I don't want to say an all-in play, but they just want to be able to pick up anything. Even Shanks would be a win at this point, and with that silence, is he gonna have TP away? Hasn't used the Disseminate just yet, and they dropped the Magnetize for it as well, just to try and get something a little bit extra. Shanks off. Can he? Has he got his juking shoes on? Not quite.
Across the map, multiple people are going down. A solo kill from Mercury, a pre-Orchid as well onto Tino. Meanwhile, the Witch Doctor goes down. Sorry, the Witch Doctor was helping out with Mercury, it looked like, to try and secure the kill. So 2 kills for Summit. All right. Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all. It was mostly the Death Ward damage coming through, like 600 or so was done by the Witch Doctor in that one. So well worth giving up your life for a kill onto the Razor. All 3 lanes have been victories
Lane
so
Mercury
far for Execration.
Bob's going to be able to get the jump and the chain control. It's there. The damage as well. They might even consider about going for Trajam. A couple lucky bounces will hold Bob back for the moment. He does have Blink up shortly. Zam's going to be cautious. Bob, is he going to go for this? No.
They really wanted to try and protect that siege creep if they could, but valuing the Roshan a little bit higher, just realizing how quickly they could look to go on into it. Just disrupting the Ursa.
Oh, Bob. He's toying with the Witch Doctor. Oh, no. It's got to be a bit cautious. He'll look to TP out. And he'll make it. Meanwhile, space created. Roshan give it over to Palos. He's got a double damage rune as well. So they're going to look to recontrol this middle lane and maybe start to put some pressure onto the T1 tower.
What Shanks is going to go next? Yeah, honestly, it was between these 2 items that he didn't have queued up until I said that. You know, is the Aghanim Shard more important first, or is it the Blink Dagger? Obviously, the only way that we feel Bob's probably going to die, especially, he's actually not going the BKB next, but is him getting Rawed and Omni Slashed, you know? But is something like the Demonic Cleanse, with a little bit of extra heal, with making sure that you're not able to get slows onto you from the Quap, from the silence of the Earth Spirit, is that going to be a little bit more influential? And you're going to be able to pick it up earlier too. I'm probably favoring the Blink Dagger for now for Shanks, just because of how important it is for him to retain his life, kind of similar to the Beastmaster on Summit side. Like, he is the one that they're wanting to initiate onto if they have their choice.
So Summit, they have this Helm of the Overlord coming out in maybe 2.5 minutes, depending how much farm Crush is going to be able to find. What can we expect them to do with the Overlord? Are they looking to bring heroes down to the Beastmaster lane? Are they looking to make space for Crush so maybe he can take a tier 2 tower?
Good question. I'm just trying to think like
even... Because look at Vincenzo. Gonna try and roll in, but the Nyx Assassin's gonna be able to stop it in its tracks, and our Summit, they're in trouble. They'll start onto the Earth Spirit. A War Stomp will give CZY an opportunity to roll away, but the banishment's gonna be there from Shanks to keep Vincenzo alive. And now with Palos, they have arrived, and Summit, they need to get out. They're not gonna stick around to see if this team fight will be fortunate enough for them or not. They're happy with rotating multiple heroes of Execration down to bottom.
Yeah, I know you're playing around this. Has he got the full BKB now on the Ursa? Yes, he does. And Van Brace as well. They want to be playing around this Aegis. Like, yeah, you're a Battle Fury Ursa, but you still want to be making these aggressive moves as Trezam. He's actually going to walk in.
They're going to be able to get...
Need to pop anything.
Yeah, ultimate's out from Trezam, but really just tickling Palos thanks to the Enrage. Towards the north as well, Bob, it finds an opening. Jump into the lasso, but the chain control's not there, so Mercury can reposition out to the right side. And now Bob's going to be cautious as well, but again, Shanks with the banishment sets off for the Sonic Wave, but the damage is not enough. Bob's able to fly up to the higher ground, back inside the lane. Palos gets the dominating streak. They'll also cancel the TP out of Unknown. The Blade Fury just expiring, and the nick of time for Vincenzo to find the Impale. As Execration, all they lose is the Aegis along with Shanks' life.
Well worth it. I mean, they went for the Omni Slash player. Was kind of expecting them to wait until the Juggernaut, sorry, not the Juggernaut, the Ursa respawned and maybe make the go on to him. Considering Ursa had the BKB, he probably would have looked to pop that one in a defensive manner, and then you can't save it as the Shadow Demon. You know, that is one of the downsides in going towards that on the... on any core. The BKB means that save potential isn't quite there, but they just committed it super early onto the Batrider. The bounces of the Omni weren't perfect, and nice disruption save coming through from Shanks to be able to protect his teammate.
See the 8th lens helping out with Shanks' positioning, and he will go into that Ag Shard next as well for the Demonic Cleanse. You've got to kill off the Shadow Demon. If you're going to try and get rid of a core like the Ursa or the Batrider, good luck if Shanks is still alive. And meanwhile, mid lane, the chain control. So damage, that was the thing in question. The Ursa not having enough to bring down Mercury through the Impale stun.
Just denying the DD rune at the bottom of the river. Not wanting to be patient enough to be able to give it through to your core. And, well, they're actually going to look to try and make a bit of a turnaround play here, but I don't know how reliable this is going to be. You've got Lasso up in 5. You've got the team clumping up around an area where, to be fair, they don't have a ton of vision.
CZY. Entering the high ground, what a stun onto dude. But look at Tino just charging to the middle, trying to buy some time for Execration to reposition and evaluate how they can take this fight. They've been able to stall out the initial jump. And Bob, he might be able to find an angle to jump in. He's got the lasso to work with. Trezam's going to be the only one that they can really catch up, but Bob doesn't want to use the lasso onto the Witch Doctor. They'll just try and poke him down from afar, and another use of the sticky napalm will secure the kill.
We'll also be able to get a D-ward off here. Shanks just pinging up on the high ground. It's one thing that Summit does have a good amount of is the vision inside of their own triangle, but with that successful gank attempt, Execration are going to be able to clear that one out in preparation for the next Roshan, which could be coming up in the next 3 minutes or so. So their main priority is just going to be, again, shove out the lanes, hit the next item timing. What is that going to be? BKB about to come up on the Ursa, just enabling him to get in on top of that Beastmaster. Remember, that is the main objective right now from Execration. Beastmaster's only died twice, but he really hasn't had an influence in these fights either because of how scary Bob is. 10-0 and 5, he just can't be getting picked off, so perhaps Crush is just playing a little bit too conservatively. At least he's got the Helm of the Overlord, though.
After 17 stacks now for Mr. Shanks, looking to add to the tally. Oh god, doesn't matter if it's 22 minutes in. Still making stacks. Oh boy, oh boy. Top lane, CZY. Vincenzo and Tino should be able to get the kill. No one's going to block the roll, though. Maybe trying to see if they can force some reactions out of Summit, but we'll hold their map control for the moment. Mercury? Oh, okay, he's going to pop out of the invis, so Mercury's just going to look to try and clear up this wave. Almost BKB completed.
So you've already got Bob to deal with when he's trying to go in super deep, right? He's going to have the Shadow Demon to be able to protect him with the... I guess it's going to be hard for him to get in onto the front lines until he
Vincenzo.
gets the Blink Dagger.
Great positioning from the Nyx. Pops the smoke. CZY still going to be able to roll onto Tino.
Okay.
He's got the BKB. TP not really a potential with Crush trying to kind of mirror the Razor's position. He's right next to a T1 tower. He won't even need any reinforcements. No one's going to TP in. They recognize Tino is far enough back to the safety of their objective, so they'll just lose Vincenzo on the Nyx.
So he's got the Lincolns now, right? So he's going to be the one wanting to go in first. You've got Batrider, who also could look to fulfill that role. Of course, he's going into a Yule Scepter, so if he gets silenced, if he gets Omni-Slashed, he can save himself. Basically, Shadow Demon's role this game is make sure that there's no, like, Lincoln's break into an Omni-Slash onto the Razor, and make sure you've got a Blink save for the Beastmaster if he gets in onto our Batrider. Beyond that, pretty solid.
They're going to try and roll in. I don't know if you want to fight the bear. Impulse is incredibly fun. Omni-Slash is out, but again, the banishment from Shanks. This guy is always in perfect position. And now they get the lasso out as well, but Palace, he's not in fighting shape. Tries the Earthshock over the tree line. Can now finally cut through thanks to the Quelling Blade. They're going to be okay as Execration. They've kited out the initial team fight. They still want to stick around though. Bob Fireflies soon expire. This is a big kill. It's got a godlike streak if they can secure it. The banishment sets up for the roll. They're going to kick him down, but Mercury finally gets the finishing blow. CZY is now going to roll further in. Trying to catch up to Shanks. It won't be fast enough with any more members of Summit to be able to help out with that attempt, but at least for Dire, they get a big streak out of the hands of the Batrider.
Do indeed. Who ended up picking it up? Mercury. All right, recovering some of that laning phase a little bit. That's going to be super value for him. Picking up, I believe that's the BKB. So much more survivable against the Batrider. It means that he's forced to pop the lasso onto if you're going to go for any of these solo pickoffs. I like it a lot.
I like it even more if they can get this tier 2 tower. This is there for Execration if they want to use it, which I think they will. They haven't lost the tier 2 tower yet, so we'll be freshened up if it does go down. And they're just going to look to try and... I like this regardless from Radiant. You see, they'll give up bottom, okay, but look what they're getting across the map. They're setting themselves up for next Roche. Second Roche is that all-important one for the Ursa lineup. They know what's up. They've got incredible wards to take a fight if it does break out.
And Shanks, he's been greedy at the right times. Their tier 3's getting hit on here. Probably just, I was about to say, might look to wait until that siege creep wave gets there, but I suppose don't have that flexibility to be able to do so. I mean, you're going to get Roshan in exchange for this, but
they see Bob. I don't think now with Roche spawning, because everyone's starting to TP back. Unknown's in a little bit of trouble. They're going to get the lasso drag back as CZY rolls in, but it's too late. It's too late. They can't keep the Juggernaut alive. And now the damage coming through for their position 1. They're in shambles here on Summit. Mercury gets the blink out, but Palace is in hot pursuit. Crush will try and escape as well. He will just make it. But Execration, they take 4. What a fight from them. And they also get the second Roche.
They do indeed. I think they just tried to go a little bit too deep there. As soon as the Juggernaut's dead, you just can't fight. You don't have the damage to be able to do anything. Still no Aghanim Shard on the Jug. Still not even level 15. And they got a pretty decent roar off, but the follow-up damage just wasn't there. So didn't result in anything significant coming through. Really showing why they are one of the favorites in these SEA qualifiers. Execration, they were really taking it to T1 with their games against them, specifically game 2 as well, but laning stage has always been a solid point for them, and it feels like they've cleaned up a lot of those not so ideal movements that they had in previous series, not just against T1, but in the past few months. Really just looking to deny away any kind of map presence that they've got.
Oh,
Palace.
Mercury. Aggressive jump. Tina's got the Lincoln to try and protect the Ursa for the moment. Palace gonna reinitiate. He needs a bash, he needs an abyssal. He's gonna get none of them. But an even better stun from Vincenzo. Clipping multiple heroes. So Palace can get the Fury swipes going. They'll turn to Trezam. A bash again is not there, but it doesn't matter. Mercury doesn't get enough distance away. His Execration are always swarming to Summit's location. It doesn't matter where they are on the map. Execration are always there.
Palace barely even hit that quap. It was just all on the back of the level 15 talent. The Earthshock applying a couple of Fury swipes. He had 9 by the time he blinked away, so it really even means that if you've been pretty good with your spacing away from the Ursa, it doesn't matter as long as you're getting clipped by that Earthshock.
Oh, Crush is caught out as well from the lasso. Drag instantly back into Palos. But the Omnislash is getting tanked as well from the Creator Wave, doing minimal amount of damage. And Palace will turn it around. He's still playing with the Aegis, and again, Vincenzo jumps over the cliff line, finds the stun onto 2. They can buy back all they want, but Execration still playing with this Aegis advantage, still playing with every single member. And some are going to be forced to tap out, and I don't blame them. Execration had their number from the start of this game all the way to the end.
What everyone wants to know is, how are the points? Palace ended the game on 0 deaths, and Bob just got that solo one. Damn it! So close to being able to pick that one up. But yeah, 28.5 minutes, really just showing the class of Execration coming through here. This is what a lot of people were expecting. I'd say, what, fifth favorite for these entire qualifiers, which isn't a bad place to be in when there are a really solid top 5.